The director told me, send me your email. He told me, Ismail, you are one of the nominees. I had no idea what the BAFTA is.
Why did you guys want to do it from the view of the children?
The child in Jenin refugee camp will grow up seeing that there is no father or mother. When a child comes out of school, they have the graveyard in front of them. They would sit for hours thinking about those who have been lost.
Tell us about your experience interviewing those two girls.
When you look at the child, doesn't actually practice his normal life, doesn't do what he has to do when he's a child, drawing, painting, following his hobbies and dreams. May reflect upon his future to be someone else that you don't really want him to be.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Today's a very special podcast on Salaamseeker. And it's going to be a very emotional one. It's going to be quite intense. I think this is going to be one of the best podcasts that not only are we going to host, but that inshallah maybe you will listen to. And the reason why is because, we've spoken about Palestine and Gaza over the recent months, but we've never really had the perspective from someone that's actually been through the war and that's been on the ground. And today we are joined by a very special guest, Ismail, who's from Jenin. And he's been here because, alhamdulillah, he's been part of a documentary called State of Rage.
Right.
And as you can clearly see, they won a BAFTA.
By the way, this is not fake.
It's
telling
real.
you right now.
It is heavy.
This is heavy. This is proper heavy.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
mashallah, I did not know how heavy this is,
Yeah.
but mashallah, this is the legit BAFTA.
Yeah. So we are very blessed to have Ismail with us, and inshallah we do justice to have him on our show. But I think it's going to be a powerful one because a documentary like this and winning a BAFTA and having a Palestinian representative, I think it's progression, and I think it's showing that we're here to get the Palestinian voice heard, which is why we wanted Brother Ismail on here, because we want you to hear from the ground what it's like. Born and raised in Jenin. Today, correct me if I'm wrong, Ismail, but being in the UK is the first time you've been outside of
Palestine.
Subhanallah.
It is.
How does it feel like being outside of Palestine?
Well, it is unbelievable experience. I never expected actually to go through it. Honestly, I never expected to leave Palestine under the restriction that we have as a Palestinian.
Tell us how you got out of Palestine, because obviously you got nominated for this through a letter or something. Was it? Yeah. And by Channel 4?
Channel 4.
Yeah, and they helped you come here?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it all started when obviously I was born and raised in Jenin refugee camp. So basically, I am a refugee from the start. My ancestors, alhamdulillah, my ancestors was actually they were forced to leave out their original place in Haifa. The occupation somehow forced them to flee off and to come to Jenin. And somehow during my journey in Jenin, I had to encounter many journalists. I have to walk around with international journalists. I did not realize how important the journalistic work was, because it conveys a real message to the people who live outside.
Exactly. Like we did, this time when the whole genocide is happening, this time around is different because we're seeing so many videos and posts and blogs from people like yourself that are showing us what's happening. If you didn't show us, we would just hear it and we wouldn't see it. So alhamdulillah, it's so true. Yeah.
So tell us about, we'll go into the documentary, but quickly tell us about how did you get approached for this documentary? What was your involvement?
I helped to produce this film regarding the editing and the translation of the film. And also I was on the field all the time, doing these logistics with the families, with the characters, and picking the right girl for the film. It was difficult at the beginning, but we had to interview actually more than one child to pick the right character. Alhamdulillah, we made it. we picked up the right character. Then after that, we had to work with her and include her families within the
Yeah,
film.
of course, yeah.
So over time, we have difficulties. We had like some Israeli raids into my hometown, like during the process. It was really quite difficult. Like I was because I was born there. I know how the atmosphere, the environment. I was aware of the things, the problems that might happen around. So at some point, I had to be careful while during actually the work. So later on, I was told by the director that the film was actually nominated for some international prizes award. So the BAFTA. I had no idea what the BAFTA is.
It's basically in Britain, I think is the biggest accolade you can get for any kind of like film or TV or documentaries, whatever.
Wow.
It's the biggest because the B in BAFTA stands for British.
Wow.
So it's
So tell us exactly how it happened. Did you get a call? Did you get an email? How did you know that you won a BAFTA?
Okay, the director told me, send me your email.
Yeah.
We might win some prizes.
you know what the prize is.
Yeah, I still don't know.
You guys get a box of chocolates.
Never. Yeah, so it was like for the film awards and something. I said, okay, that's cool. Since like it is conducted outside because I've never been outside of Palestine, and my hope is to leave.
Yeah.
Just to do something for the Palestinians.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, he told me, Ismail, you are one of the nominees. You got the email. I got the email.
Yeah.
I said, congrats, you became one of the nominees. Out of 600 programs,
Wow.
it was the film was selected to actually to be nominated for the BAFTAs award. Later on, I lost faith at the last moment. I mean, because I should actually work hard. I wasn't told to submit my application to do for the visa because for the Palestinians it was impossible for them to leave the country. And alhamdulillah, the recent minutes, I was told by the colleague, the producer, you need to do this and that and submit your application on that day. And I said, even if I do this, I may not be. So because this is what happened, what used to be happening.
Used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got declined twice from a visa that I applied in Spain.
Yeah.
And which is considered easier for the Palestinians to get, I guess, comparing to other countries like the UK, the US. So I got it somehow. Before submitting the application, they wrote a letter from Channel 4 to support the visa. And also, BAFTA invited me.
So they personally invited you, so it helped your application.
Exactly.
Oh, mashallah.
So tell me, how did you feel when you found out it was accepted and that you were going to go outside the country?
You won't believe, actually. I don't know if I should mention that. I just jumped into the dirt. No, I just no. It's it's funny. I mean, because I honestly, when I knew about that, what do I say? I prayed a lot. I prayed a lot, thanking God for the blessing that I had, because that's not something usual and accessible for every Palestinian.
Of course. How did your family react?
They said they were happy. They were super happy, and they told me, if you can go. This is your opportunity to change your life somehow, because no opportunities obviously in our place.
So the documentary itself, who came up with the idea? Obviously, the director was there. Like, how much influence did you have in when you were involved in the documentary?
The film was basically about the children, the Palestinian children, and So the film was about the Palestinian children and also the Israeli, let's say the settlers.
Yeah. So let's give
So-
context. So it was a documentary which was side by side, where there was one side where we're looking at the lives of Palestinian children, I think two, and another side was Israeli family and children, and we were looking, and it was like side by side.
Right,
So, but you were just involved in the Palestinian documentary,
right.
and we had someone similar doing the Israeli documentary, and then the director just put it together.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay.
Yeah.
So, when you were doing the Palestinian documentary, how did you know what you needed to do? Did the director say do this, do that, or was it like you just do it and it's okay?
We had a previous plans
Yeah.
of the activities that we should conduct.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay.
So I was also given the advice to do this and that, and how about this, how about that, based on the environment, because it wasn't safe.
Fine. Yeah. And when was it actually done? Which year?
It was done, let's say, over the past.
So
over the
literally during the time that
Yeah.
the whole genocide is happening from 23 November
exactly.
or 7th November 23.
So did filming start before?
Not before, after.
Oh, so it's
Okay.
literally basically done it whilst it was the genocide started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subhanallah.
So it was يعني, let's say close timing between the genocide and the filming. So because basically the director was going to Gaza for the film to do something, but it was the war started. So he went back he turned around just to look to the most affected city that is affected,
So he went after the most,
which was Jenin.
Janine, and obviously you're from the Subhanallah.
So if you can quickly tell us for the audience the general summary of the documentary. And I watched it, and subhanAllah, it was very powerful because it takes the stories of two families, one Palestinian, one Israeli, and essentially talks about why each family feel like they can't live with the other family.
You mean the
coexisting. Yeah.
This is really hard actually to coexist. When there is an occupation oppressing and taking the rights of one entity, which is the Palestinians, and the other side who's living properly. So basically, the people who the settlements or the family of the settlers are living at the expense of the weak.
Yeah.
So they have got everything, services, everything, while the other families is marginalized. The child, the whole idea is more about the impact of violence over children.
Yeah.
So basically, we focused on this film on children and see how far they can get with this violence.
Yeah.
So you see, when you look at the child, doesn't actually practice his normal life, doesn't do what he has to do when he's a child, drawing, painting, following his hobbies and dreams. This may reflect upon his future to be someone else, and that you don't really want him to be. So similarly, the part of the other side has that violence as well, but let's say this is that violence comes from an ideology that has been implanted within their own community.
Yeah, because it felt like the Israeli side of it was that they had this belief, and the children there, they just completely believed that the other side, the
to kill them.
should be wiped out, or it's like a propaganda. Obviously, we're looking at it with a little bit of a biased view because, but it's a genocide. Like one side is being completely slaughtered, the other side just has a belief.
Yeah.
So it's when you see it, it's such a weird dynamic that they're not even hiding it. You know, and like, no, it's okay. It's like, it's, so how was it did you see the other side after? How was it? Did you just do your side and then after you saw the other side? Or was it like they showed you clips of a little bit of the other side, so you had to then change your, the Gazan story, or the children from Gaza, their story?
Okay, you mean like
Like, did you
was
just how did your side work? Did you get to ever see their side, or was it until the end?
No, actually, each of so the production company worked somehow on each side separately.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Separately,
Yeah.
this side has to go this way, and the other side has its own way of going.
Oh, okay, fine. So it's like two separate,
Two separate, exactly two
and then they
separate.
just joined it together.
So what was your reaction when you watched the documentary, listening to what the other side are saying about you and your people?
This is well, I understand their anger,
Oh,
and
that's interesting.
but it should not be that up to that level.
Yes.
It should be reasonable. Even in the film, if you notice, the mother itself showed that her children should not act like that, and she understand well that she came on a land that does not belong to her. She's a stranger to the land. And at the beginning of the film, the settlement locates on a land that belongs to the Palestinians, obviously. Yes. And the level of settler violence is growing, and the Palestinians, lands, people, children, and properties are being assaulted gradually over time. So if you watch the film, you will see deeply how much hurt exists in it.
Yeah, from both sides as well, isn't it? Which is, but more.
For me, I feel sorry for the settler.
That's how
the settler community, because they came and they should not be here. They should be in a place where they should not actually face violence, which is their place outside.
So that's so interesting. You're actually feeling sorry for them because you feel like you could tell that they're in a temporary place.
Yeah.
You know how you go in maybe to a hotel or something, and it's not your area, and that's the Palestinian that's feeling that. That's quite interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
How's the reception been for this documentary? Like, have people approached you, saying about what they feel about the documentary Palestinians? And
they were actually impressed by the film, because at some point it shows the viewer a really unique perspective to look at the weakest part and sympathize with it under these assaults. And the level of pain can be bigger than the other. And I can see that the Palestinians themselves, Palestinian children, are the most affected in this film, and due to ongoing Israeli raids and many loss to the Palestinians. So as for the other side, it's an ideology that is within every other settler.
So let's focus on the children, because obviously this is on the lens of the children. When you were doing, why did you guys want to do it from the view of the children, or the children? Why not adults or soldiers, or I don't know.
Well, honestly, we did not actually want to approach this politically. We needed to actually to bring this out of the humanitarian part, to tell you that the child's right is not there. It should be at some point, like, they should meet the essential things should be. I mean, what I'm just saying, like, the right of children should be confirmed. They must go to school, practice their normal life, do what they had to do. But this is impossible when you have like a certain regime entity that controls everything around.
Tell us about your experience interviewing those two girls.
Jana and Hiba.
Yes.
Okay. Jana is a quite strong girl.
Yes. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
She's
quite independent. Yeah.
She has a powerful character.
Yeah.
She has she has the vibes. She would go and to play with her friends, and and her best friend was Hiba. Hiba, they live close nearby. They would do similar things. They like painting. Sometimes they will go to the center to learn. Yeah, but unfortunately, sometimes she can't do some of these things when she's in constant danger.
Yeah. How do you think? Because you were a Palestinian child growing up in the genocide. Like, genocide has been going for a while, and I'm sure your whole life has been the genocide, essentially on off. How does the genocide shape a child? How did it shape you?
And I think, sorry, just to add before you get to the question, is obviously as children, that's all they've known. So I want to know what their perspective on their life is, because they don't know anything other than living in that state. Are they aware that they're living in such a bad genocide?
Yeah. I mean, what do you expect of a child who lost his family members? I mean, okay, the child in Jenin refugee camp will grow up seeing that there is no father or mother or anyone of his family members is missing. He will look at the one who to the murder, basically. This will generate a sense of grudge, hold a grudge against the oppressor.
Yeah.
Basically, when a child comes out of school, they have the graveyard in front of them. They would sit for hours thinking about those who have been lost over the past conflict. So this is bring pain and have like somehow a sadness feelings.
Is there hate? Is there a lot of hate as well?
Look, for me, it was really difficult for me to change how I think. I lost during the film. I lost 3 or 2 of family members, my cousins.
May Allah grant them the highest ranks in Jannah, inshallah. Grant them as shaheed.
Yeah, it was a really difficult moment, but despite that, I had to continue. This has made me stronger.
This is what I think. This is what we see, that the Palestinians, they're just so strong,
resilient.
They're so resilient. They just continue through adversity. We
look for them. We look to you Palestinians for our strength.
We're so weak.
No.
We'll maybe even if we're simple as something like a football result. If we support a football team, someone's crying for 2 days. So we're so weak, subhanAllah. So in the last 2-3 years, and I think beyond that, we've seen the resilience of the Palestinians, and we're like, subhanAllah, we feel like your iman, Allah is obviously the holder of all imans, but like feel like your iman is so much like more powerful. Alhamdulillah, we look at it. So I don't know if you know this, and maybe you can go back to the your brothers and sisters in Palestine and tell them that everyone that sees this, we're inspired by yourselves. We truly are.
From your experience, do you the Palestinians? Do you think they see our love for the Palestinians, our desire to help you guys?
Like the Palestinians look at
like us in the West, in the protests and the boycotts. Does it help you guys?
It does help us, but it does help us, yes, for sure, because this is seriously open the eyes of the world that there is a Palestinian cause and the genocide that's happening must stop, because it's not only in Gaza, it's everywhere in the West Bank and other parts of the world. And the protests will actually matters to us.
That's good. Does things like boycotting, because alhamdulillah, I think this last 2 years or so, I think the boycott from all the Muslims and even non-Muslims, they've actually started to boycott a lot of these products to the point where if a Muslim shop sells Coca-Cola, people start questioning them. What are you doing? What are you saying, Coca-Cola? These kind of small things. Does that help actually with you guys? Like, is there actual help there, or is there?
Well, it helps a lot. For example, in my place, we don't have KFC is shut down, and everything that is related to the genocide, supporting
Mashallah,
the genocide has stopped. Similarly in other different parts of the West Bank, you may find few, but our options are limited.
Oh, mashallah. So it does work, yeah.
I just wanted to ask, do you have a message for the people? If you could send one message to us people in the West who are, we want to support your cause, but we're not in Palestine. We can't really, we're not fully, we're somewhat detached from being able to help and being in Palestine. Is there some message you have for the people?
Okay. Honestly, I would love to say that I need the world to keep doing a protest and stand by the side of the Palestinians. That since that their humanitarian rights are being taken, and no one internationally consider our rights of existence. I want to say that we need to raise the awareness to look deeply into our insights as Palestinians and consider us as a human, because we are not numbers.
Yeah.
Mm.
On that note, thank you so much for coming onto our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And for sharing your story.
We'll definitely get you back very, very, very soon for a second podcast.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
Inshallah. So on that note, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.